William Hart was once a name that made headlines. The youngest tech CEO in New York, he had built Hart Vision Technologies, a company that designed smart glasses for the visually impaired. Ironic, because fate had its own plans for him. 2 years ago, William lost his sight in a car crash caused by a drunk driver. He survived, but his fiancée, Emily, didn't. From that day, he shut himself off, from people, from hope, and from the very world his company was trying to illuminate. Now, at 38, he lived in silence, guided by his cane, his assistant, and his pain. Every morning, William arrived at his skyscraper exactly at 7:45 a.m. The employees whispered when he passed. "Don't talk to him. He hates sympathy. He fired the last guy who tried to help him." And maybe, they were right. Because to William, help meant pity. And pity was something he could no longer stand. That morning, the elevator was already crowded, but a soft voice said, "Good morning, sir. Would you like me to press your floor?" William recognized the tone. It was Ethan Cole, the janitor, a single father who worked night shifts cleaning offices to feed his 8-year-old daughter, Hope. William's tone was cold. "No. I know my way." Ethan smiled gently. "Of course, sir. Have a good day." As the elevator climbed, the silence thickened, until William's cane slipped and hit Ethan's mop bucket, spilling water. "Damn it!" William snapped. Ethan rushed forward. "I'm so sorry, sir. Just, stay out of my way," William barked. The doors opened, and William walked out, leaving wet footprints behind. But what William didn't see, was that Ethan looked down with sadness, then whispered to himself, "It's okay, he's hurting more than I am." That night, while cleaning the top floor, Ethan found something, a small metallic case lying near the CEO's office door. Inside was a prototype chip labeled Project Eden. Ethan didn't know what it was, but the next morning, William's assistant, Grace, was in panic mode. "Sir, the Eden prototype is missing. That chip was worth over $5 million. Security cameras showed only one person on that floor after hours, Ethan." William clenched his jaw. "Fire him. And call the police." When Ethan was dragged into the office the next day, his uniform still damp from cleaning, his voice trembled. "Sir, I didn't take anything. I found the case and kept it safe." "Save your lies." William cut him off. "Please, my daughter, she's waiting outside. I just wanted to return it to you myself." William slammed his desk. "Enough. Security, get him out." As the guards led Ethan away, a little girl peeked from the hallway, clutching a lunchbox. Her eyes were filled with tears. "Daddy," she whispered. William froze. That voice, for a brief second, it sounded like Emily's little sister, years ago. The one who used to say the same word, "Daddy," in the same trembling tone when she was scared. But he turned away, pretending he didn't hear. Chapter 2, The Elevator That Changed Everything. 2 days later, it rained heavily. The city blurred in gray and thunder. William was heading home late when his assistant told him the elevators were malfunctioning. Still, he entered one. And right before the doors closed, a hand stopped them. It was Ethan, soaked, holding an umbrella and a paper bag. "Sir, please," he said softly. "Just 2 minutes of your time." William sighed. "You're not supposed to be here." "I know," Ethan said, "but I can't let this go unfinished." The elevator started moving, and suddenly jolted to a stop between floors. The lights flickered out. "Great," William muttered. "Guess we're stuck," Ethan said quietly. "Maybe, it's a sign." William turned his head sharply. "A sign of what?" "That maybe, you're meant to see something. Not with your eyes, but your heart." William scoffed. You sound like one of those fortune cookie philosophers. Ethan chuckled. Maybe. But I learned something from my daughter, Hope. She was born blind. William's expression changed. Blind? Ethan nodded. Yeah. The doctors said she'd never see again. But you know what she told me when she first got her walking stick? She said, "Daddy, I can't see the light, but I can feel it." The words hit William like thunder. For the first time, he fell silent. Ethan continued. That chip I found, Project Eden, it's supposed to help people like her, right? People who can't see. William nodded faintly. Then don't give up on it, sir. Don't give up on the very thing that gives people like her hope. For a moment, there was only the sound of the rain pounding outside. Then, William asked quietly, "Why do you care so much?" Ethan smiled sadly. Because you built something that could change her world. I may not have money, or power, but I believe in what you created. And I believe in you, even if you don't. The elevator hummed, then suddenly started moving again. The doors opened at the lobby. Ethan stepped out and turned back. I'll go now, sir. Just, don't stop seeing the light. But before he could leave, William called out, Ethan, wait. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a card. Bring your daughter to my office tomorrow morning. The next day, Hope stood shyly in front of William's desk. She wore a pink dress, her little white cane tapping nervously. William guided her hand to a pair of sleek glasses. These are the first working lenses from Project Eden, he said softly. They're yours to test, Hope. Grace whispered, Sir, those aren't approved yet. William smiled. Then let this be our first miracle. Hope slipped on the glasses. The sensors blinked blue. A moment later, she gasped, her lips trembling. Daddy. I can see you. Ethan dropped to his knees, tears flooding his eyes. Oh my God, baby girl. William stood still, his own unseeing eyes glistening. Can you see me, Hope? The little girl turned toward him. Not like others, but I see a light around you, like sunshine. And that was the moment, the first time in years, that William smiled. He reached out and said, That's enough for me. Ending, 13 to 1400 hours. Months later, Project Eden became a global breakthrough, giving vision to thousands. And at every company meeting, William walked to the stage, guided not by a cane, but by Ethan, now head of the company's Human Values division. Reporters once asked William, Sir, what changed you? He smiled and said, I used to think blindness was my curse. But a janitor and his daughter showed me, sometimes, you don't need eyes to see hope. You just need kindness.